Mismatch is a series of stories you won't see on TV. You'll listen to them on your phone or your tablet or your computer. And trust me, if you like good stories, this is the podcast for you.
The heir to an automotive fortune falls head over heels for a woman with no money and no social standing. The apparent mismatch ends in a terrible accident on their honeymoon. So naturally, people started talking. She was after his money.
You want to, give the listener a sense of what it feels like to be in someone's shoes. I think that's what podcasting is really good at. It's kind of this empathy builder in that you put your earbuds on and then you're living in someone's world for a minute.
And to do that, you need a good storyteller. Well, in a newsroom full of them, who do you tap for such an undertaking? Well, you get the best, even if the best is no longer in the news business.
But Sparky Anderson would not be unemployed for long. A few weeks after talking baseball with the former president of the United States, Sparky became manager of the Detroit Tigers.
Yes, that's Roger Weber, telling the story of how Sparky Anderson came to interview President Richard Nixon, one of 8 podcasts making up season 1 of Mismatch.
Now, these are not stories that are in the daily news cycle.
They're stories told in a much different way than his 37 years in television.
Television, we have what we call the split script. You have the video instructions on one side and the audio, and you're always thinking when you write something, now what is the picture? What's the video that's going to support that line? Well, now I have the freedom to create the word pictures. While it's familiar, it's still storytelling. It's a whole different kind of storytelling.
Different also in their theme. The Mismatch podcast is made up of stories of the incompatible, the unsuitable, and the out of step.
These can go 30 minutes. So with a podcast, you have time for twists and turns.
It helps that Roger has been collecting story ideas for, 30 plus years.
Stories like this one about the heir to the Dodge family fortune.
Maybe the real question is, why would Daniel Dodge mess around with dynamite? You can really engage the listener. We're not in as much of a hurry as you naturally have to be in a newscast.
The first season of Mismatch drops today, and with 500,000 podcasts out there, we want to make sure you can find it easily. Coming up at 6, we'll delve into what goes into making these podcasts and how you can find them without having any trouble at all.